Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report. This week's edition of the program focuses on 3 incidents: a windstorm in Nasarawa State, another in Taraba State, as well as a road accident also in Taraba State that left some persons dead. Shortly, we'll take you through the details of these reports and more as narrated by eyewitnesses. I am Yomi Otaibi. Residents of some communities in Doma local government area of Nasarawa State witnessed what has been described as one of the most disastrous events over time when a windstorm swept through 4 local government areas.
Wednesday morning, April 3rd, residents of several communities in Nasarawa State woke up to a devastation following destruction by a windstorm. Aloshi community in Kaina local government area is one of the worst hit. Images of the wreckage speak volumes of the impact, even though the rain and windstorm lasted for less than an hour. A large part of the community is badly impacted.
The cloud was somehow brownish around the Lafia-Kiana axis while coming to Aloshi. Few minutes we began to experience wind blow, which started gradually, and as times continue within the first 5-10 minutes, the wind intensified, and before we could realize, in fact, we started seeing zings and trees were being uprooted, roofs were being taken off by the wind.
Trees are uprooted, roofs blown off, houses, schools and other public infrastructure reduced to rubble, rendering many homeless.
What is happening is already happened. It's a will of God. Nobody can decide what God has made to make it. We are all under Him. God have never made a mistake. What is our own mission now is to call the federal government and state government and the local government to come to our aid so that we can find some other things to our people to repair what is damaged.
5 people were injured here. Mrs. Kasua Eliago sustained injuries after a building collapsed on her. She was discharged to continue her treatment from home.
Yesterday evening it was cloudy, so I called the children to enter the house. Then the wind affected our house and it collapsed on me. I couldn't move. I felt like I was dead. I was taken to the hospital.
The people of Aloshi are, however, not deterred from their businesses. They hold their regular market on the same day. Some have begun rebuilding their homes while hoping for some relief. A series of squalls also passed over communities in Awe, Doma, and Kefi local government areas, wreaking havoc. One person reportedly died in Doma local government area and 10 others were injured in Kefi and Awe. The windstorm in Kefi also destroyed electric poles, resulting to a 3-day blackout.
Look at those kids should not be there. Our heart goes out to the members of this community. It's really devastating to come down here and see the magnitude of properties that has been affected by the windstorm. In terms of government coming in, that's why we are here for an assessment, and afterwards we'll be able to key into what is necessary to be done to the communities that is affected. And also we hoping that the federal government under NEMA will come and do their own need assessment by the time we submit our own to them, because that's the first thing I intend to do, so that they can come in and make this a quick speed. Because to be honest with you, until you get here, you actually see the damage that this community are involved in.
The Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State visits Aloshi community to see the extent of damage.
Don't touch this.
Almost 60-70% of the buildings in Aloshi were affected. Some rooftops blown, others even the buildings themselves. And but one thing that was fascinating was that even trees were uprooted, very heavy trees that are supposed to give shelter and protect against such windstorms were uprooted. So that shows the degree of devastation and the weight with which the windstorm came. And I've already asked the chairman of the local government and also the Honorable Commissioner in charge of humanitarian services to do a proper assessment and an inventory so that we can know how many households were really involved. And I'm aware that quite a number of people are now homeless because they have no roofs over their heads. And we're going to take immediate steps as a responsible and a responsive government to see how much succor can bring to the people immediately, and also those who have been displaced. We'll also try and see if we can get some foodstuffs to them, so that at least they can eat and have some little shelter somewhere, while we see how we can assist those households to provide their structures so that they can move into their houses as soon as possible.
Keeping to its word, the Nasarawa state government returns to Aloshi community 2 days later with food and other relief items for victims.
So rice then, 25 in the morning. Go. So right now we have rice that will be taken there. We have pasta, we have some vegetables, oil, we have salt, we have no Maggi, and I've sent a truck of water already, and that is, I believe, is supposed to be there by now, because we realize that they don't have any drinking water. Even water for them to use to do their daily activities is not accessible. So I've sent water as I speak now. So the rest of the affected area, because of the less number that happened there, I've spoke with the chairman of our local government. He is managing that to send us the assessment, whereby we will go there also to do the needful. But now our main concern is with people in Aloshi development area, because of the magnitude of the property that is being affected by that, which makes the place like a whole lot of people are displaced. So that we want to make sure that at least we start with them, and then from there we proceed to the other communities. The deputy governor has given us the go-ahead to submit the need assessment, but while that is going on under NASEMA, I'm doing the part of the humanitarian to make sure that we put food on their table, which there is no table, but we put some kind of food for them to be able to enjoy for the moment, while the federal government, NEMA, we are calling on them to please come to the assistance of the people of Nasarawa State, so that we can start making moves in returning these people back to their various homes. Like I said, we are thinking of starting a like a disposal kind of shelter, nothing permanent, but where these people can actually go to bed at the moment. So we are working with that, and as soon as that is done, at least they can have a place they can rest their heads on.
Like I said,
Financial support also comes from the senator representing Nasarawa West, who visits Aloshi and Keina local government areas. He commiserates with the people and donates 7 million naira to be distributed by the traditional council.
We are there for the people, and we will continue to do the best we can. And as a matter of responsibility is why I am here, to commiserate and sympathize with the people of Kiana and Aloshi under Kiana local government that God has tried by visiting them with what He has visited them with. My support, financial support to the people of Kiana, is going to the emirate. It's not a political committee. The emirate is a responsible emirate. The emirate is very much aware of the fact that the emirate owes the people or its subjects a responsibility. So I'm sure the 3 million given to Kiana emirate will be shared accordingly. And then the same thing applies to Aloshi. Aloshi is not as big as Kiana, but it is much more affected than Kiana. And so the 4 million given to Aloshi, I am very sure, will be judiciously shared to the affected people, because who takes care of its subjects? I mean, much more than the emirate. And that's why in the two places, all the support we have pledged and given were given to the palaces. So I don't think there will be any palace that will want to shortchange its subjects.
A rough estimate suggests that thousands of individuals have been rendered homeless and property worth millions of naira destroyed by this natural disaster across communities in 4 local government areas in the North Central District of Nasarawa State.
Welcome back. Takum community in Taraba State also experienced a windstorm. Thankfully, no life was lost, but several properties were destroyed.
Houses once served as homes for residents in Takum local government area of Taraba state suddenly become uninhabitable. Roofs blown off by windstorm, accompanied by heavy rains which lasted for hours. Though no life is lost, several properties, including business, worship centers, and schools, are damaged.
Before now, we don't have we've not had this experience before, but about 3 years ago, there are a lot of cutting down of trees, madri everywhere. And so I think that is what result to this windstorm that we are experiencing right now in Takum. I think this should be one of the things should be put in law. Should be a law that government should put that no one should cut down trees, and they should also encourage planting of trees. That will also reduce these epidemics.
We really lose a lot of things, and there is no money. We want government to help us because we are passing through a lot. We need help from government because the place is somehow like that. It's not well organized like that. That make the wind to come and blow everything away.
The destructive windstorm comes almost a year after Governor Abu Kefas signed an executive order suspending all mining activities in Taraba and subsequently imposed a total ban on deforestation, all in a bid to halt a looming disaster associated with soil degradation. In the aftermath of the unfortunate incident, the governor visits the affected areas. He calls for immediate assessment of affected properties and assures of support to the victims.
His Excellency received the news about the windstorm after the rain in Takum, and he thought it was expedient for him to be here to see things for himself. We have gone around Takum town and we have seen the enormous destruction that was done by the windstorm. His Excellency has directed that a quick assessment be carried out by the community leaders, including the chairman of the local government, the community leaders of the faith, the Christian and the Muslim community, including the traditional ruler of Takum. They should have a quick assessment of what has happened and then bring their recommendation for him immediately for support. You know the situation we are in this country at this time. People are passing through hardship and the rain has just started. His Excellency felt it is important for him to support these people that were affected by the windstorm. So Takum people should expect support from this government, particularly to help them fix all these houses that have been destroyed by windstorm. Well, if you look at it carefully, you will discover that most of the destruction affected the zinc of the roof. So we expect that this government will support them with some building materials in order to fix their houses, so that with this rain, they will not sleep outside.
With this devastating effect of deforestation on Takum residents, it is expected that the Task Force Committee on Deforestation and Illegal Mining, as well as stakeholders, will have a change of strategy in curtailing further effects of climate change.
5 days after the windstorm in Takum, an accident occurred in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital, leaving 2 people dead.
An overturned trailer attracts a crowd shortly after it was involved in an accident at about 11 p.m. The ill-fitted vehicle, which was conveying livestock from Adamawa to a cattle market in Abia State, lost control along the Jalingo-Wukari Expressway. 2 passengers and over 50 livestock are casualties of this mishap.
Mun taso lami lafiya tun daga can muna shigowa mun hawo flyover nan Jalingo kenan muna sauka zan dawo gefen lane dina.
It was a smooth drive since we took off from Ganye in Adamawa State. Shortly after we passed the flyover, the steering suddenly locked itself. I tried to control it, but to no avail. I was actually driving at high speed and not sleeping, as speculated by some people.
Targa ta juya har ta hau nan gurin targa ta tsallake nan gun mun zo za mu take motar dan gwatan nan shine sai na sake steering sai ta shine kaga muka dawo ta nan gefen ta zo ta shimfida ma nan a nan gefen.
One of the passengers who escaped unhurt confirmed the death of 2 people and regretted the attitude of some residents who, despite their ordeal, attempted stealing their livestock, who are still alive.
Akwai wanda jiya su suka dinga taimakon fitar da shanun nan suka kamo wanda suka gudu.
In this our present situation, we are yet to get any assistance. We have lost a lot. Some people assisted in catching the cattle that escaped after the accident.
Wannan ya mutu wannan an yanka. Ga mai siya za ka siyar mai ga siyar in kuma za ka kyautar shi ka kyautar shi. To kaga wanda suka yi aikin nan tun jiya da dare ya kamata dole su ne in an gama wannan mutane ku tsaya. Mu muce da ba ci zami ba.
Kai, Alhaji za ka yi shanun na wallahi. Alhaji za ka kai mana bayani. Zan yi muku bayani.
Wannan dai motan da ya faɗi mota ne na abokanayen kasuwancin mu na yau da kullum. Suka kira mu domin mu kawo musu agaji.
This vehicle belongs to our business associates. They called us for assistance, but on arrival, we discovered that most of the cattle were already dead. The association frowns at selling animals that are not slaughtered, and anyone found culpable will be severely punished.
Amma waɗanda suka ga za su iya cin kayan sun ɗauka za su ci a gidajensu. To duk malukin da muka kama a cikin gari ko kuma nama a wani wuri ya fidda nama da niyan zai saida. To gaskiyar magana hukunci zai tabbata a kan shi.
Meanwhile, the remains of the victims have been deposited in a mortuary.
You can participate actively in the program by becoming our Eyewitness reporter, giving us reports of activities around you, especially those that can attract relevant authorities and translate into meaningful developments in your neighborhood. Simply use your mobile device to capture unique events and developments within your neighborhood, and then follow the instructions to upload the pictures and videos on the Eyewitness section of the Channels TV mobile app. The app can be downloaded from online stores. Remember to provide personal details that will enable us to reach out to you as we follow up to develop your story. Now let's see what's in store from you, our Eyewitness reporters.
This segment of the program begins with a video of a group of residents and property owners in Ijedodo Agaye community in Iba, local council development area of Lagos State, protesting the demolition of some structures and foundations by officials of the Federal Housing Authority, FHA. The residents say they woke up to see armed policemen accompanying some FHA officials to mark some buildings in the community for planned demolition without prior notice. The protesters also claimed that the Federal Housing Authority had failed to give reasons for its action when approached by members of the community. The next eyewitness video, also from Lagos, is that of a fire outbreak at the cosmetics and hair attachment section of the popular Balogun market in Lagos Island. 20 built-up shops, 3 warehouses, and 16 attachments were affected when fire gutted a 3-story building on Breadfruit Street. Although the fire was quickly attended to by emergency responders, the Eyewitness could not provide any information relating to the cause of the fire.
There you have it. Thanks for those images and thank you for watching. I am Yomi Otaiwo.